this state, in this county. We have people who are teachers who are not able to afford where they live. They're working several jobs to make ends meet, and they are in charge of our future. They deserve better than that. We all deserve better than that. But I am clear-eyed about the fact that I am one of 33 in a body of 120. And so the ability to pass these really good bills is very limited. We don't get to decide what gets heard on committee agendas. We don't get to decide what's heard on the House floor. So ways that we fight back in that type of environment is, filing amendments to some of the bills that come through to make them less harmful. We stand up and we grab the microphone whenever we can, all of us. I've heard each and every one of us debate powerfully against some of the bills that have been filed that would hurt people. And so that is what my legislative priority is to continue to push the good that I can and fight back when needed. And I'm grateful that we have such an amazing community in Orange County, and they really do, they give us the wind behind our backs to push us to do good things, and they always have our backs, and we appreciate that.
Thank you. Good evening. This is my first Orange County Legislative Town Hall. Thank you all so much for coming and being so welcoming. It's not my first time, though, being a member of the legislature, because I've been there for 4 years, but just serving Osceola, so very welcome to be here in Orange County, but also want to point to my team here. Monica, she's taking a photo in the back with a red sweater, and Anna, they take care of the district and take care of things back home here while I'm in Tallahassee. They'll also be out at events and stuff, so please feel free to see them, or if you're one of the 5, if you call your 5 calls a day, you'll probably be talking to Anna on the phone, so please remember that, but they're here to serve you when I'm up in Tallahassee. We have some great bills that we filed this session and some appropriations. As Representative Harris said, there are some challenges, definitely being in the minority party. As a senator, we have unlimited bill slots. I can't wait to hear how many bills Senator Smith is filing. We have 15 that are filed and about 5 more that we're working on that we hope to have filed by this Friday. The bill drafting deadline for filing is this Friday. But you can check out any of us online, Senator Smith and I, at flsenate.gov, or the House members at flhouse.gov, and see all the legislation that we're filing. We do, of course, all file some common sense legislation, and then also some messaging legislation like Representative Harris has. Some of the legislation that we have that's actually moving is we do have additional tax exemption for disabled veterans. We also are working with Representative Harris for a road designation for Harris Rosen Way. We had our first committee stop in the Senate, and I know Representative Harris is going to have that up pretty soon too, so we will definitely get that across the finish line this year. And then also working with Representative LaVon Bracey Davis on a Florida Bright Future Scholarship Program expansion and mentorship program. It's something that I had filed in the House and got through a couple committee stops, but didn't have any movement in the Senate. So now I'm in the Senate to move it along, and looking forward to working with her on that one. And also working on some legislation with Representative Spencer and Representative Escamani, but since I am speaking before them, I want to give them opportunity for that. But also some of the messaging stuff that we're doing is giving women access to their reproductive rights. We're also working on a Medicare for All bill, literally changing some language on it right now, but that should be filed later this week, and some legislation to work for our HOA elections. I've been working on HOA reform since being in Tallahassee, and it's a big problem across the state of Florida. We are also working on appropriations for roads, flooding projects, public safety, and cleaning hydrilla out of the Lake Toho, which is right in downtown Kissimmee if you come visit there. We did a legislative survey this last week or two. Monica took care of that, and in our district, the #1 priority is property insurance. #2 is public education, and #3 is traffic. So we're making sure that we bring those priorities with us to Tallahassee when we fight the good fight, and when we have those opportunities for amendments or committee bills to make sure that your all's voice and your priorities are heard. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Representative Lopez.
4 minutes, wow. The red is because of public education, but get it twisted. Public education, okay? You got it.
We're watching.
So, yes, I know. So it's gonna be hard to summarize all the bills in 4 minutes. I'm gonna try my best, but I think that I'm not gonna say my priorities, because everybody knows that I always have this discussion when people or organizations try to endorse me. I always say, listen, before you interview me, I want to make sure that I'm not going to change my views on the LGBTQ plus community and women's rights. So they know that, and after that, if they don't have any problem, then I get into the conversation and have the endorsement. So saying that, that doesn't mean that my priorities is not that I'm not going to support all of our representatives. I'm here to support them 100%. We have the same values. But public education, as a former school board member, I have a bill for ESOL students. Every bill that I am filing is because somebody approached me and educated me about the topic and about the challenges. So this bill, the executive director for the multilingual department in Orange County Public School came to me and said, listen, the ESOL students, the majority of them are immigrants. And when they came and they are in 11th grade and they just need 2 years to graduate, they can have different type of assessment to pass the English class, but they don't have that with math. So with Algebra 1, what we want is to expand the same opportunity. It's not compulsory, but at least they have that option across the state. So that's why I have that bill. The other bill that I have with Senator Carlos Guillermo Smith is a bill about the pools, and I want to talk about the story first, because this mom that came to my office, Christine, talking about how she lost her son in a pool when she bought this house that it was not new. So she said, listen, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, my son was dead already in the pool. His name was Gunner. And she talked to me about how can we help other families in the state of Florida to avoid this type of situation by, number one, providing these features that all the houses needs to have to the pools. They don't have to get all the features, but at least one, even if the house is old. Let's say maybe an alarm, maybe a motion movement alarm outside, or maybe locks on the pool door. So it's like 10 different types of features, and also education. We are not educating our community about Florida data. We have a lot of drowning cases in the state of Florida. Right now, we are number 3. In 2018, we were number 1 with drowning accidents. The other one is notary fraud, because and this is something that affects our immigrants as well. That's why I'm saying that I am prioritize immigrants, because I know they are being harassed in the state of Florida. So the notary fraud, it was the Representative Woodson came to me and she said, this bill, I tried to put this bill last year, and Senator Polsky is also in charge of this bill on the Senate side. I want to talk to you about this bill, because what happened right now is that we have a lot of people saying that they are notaries representing the immigrants in courts or advising immigrants in legal cases, and they are not knowledgeable on this topic. So in our Latino communities, a notary, a notario, is a person that is very, very knowledgeable in legal issues. It's not the same thing here in the United States when you say notary. It's just a person that supervises a document to be signed. So that's what happened right now. So it's criminalizing the person that is trying to lie to our immigrants in these cases. I think that is very important that we protect our immigrants, mostly in these cases that we are living in the state of Florida. And I'm just gonna mention another one, because I know it's more than 4 minutes, I don't know when I'm gonna do this, but I have one that is very important, because the state of Florida is the only state that if you are a single person with adults and single, and we don't have any children that are minors, you cannot sue for suffering and pain in the state of Florida. And it's the only state. So we are trying to work together with other state representatives. Even Lagon also called me, and I co-sponsoring the bill as well. I don't know why I'm so nervous. And I'm also co-sponsoring the bill. And this bill is just to include the state of Florida at a national level, because at this point it's very unfair for us to have so many cases of medical negligence. The state of Florida is #1 in medical negligence, and I have this bill because one of my constituents came to me and told me her story with her dad. So that's why the bill has the name of the dad of Sabrina Wills. So that's it.
Thank you, Representative Lavonda Lee.
Thank you so much, and again, it is an honor to be here. Y'all, it's a great day to be a Democrat. Contrary to what you see on the news, contrary to what is happening in Washington, D.C., let me be very clear, it is a great day to be a Democrat, and we are indeed standing on the right side of right. That part. Full stop. Period. First, let me introduce my staff that is here today. My district aide, Janae McKissick, is here. She holds it down here in Orange County when I am in Tallahassee. And then, of course, my right hand is also here. Rashawn Young, raise your hand. Everybody can see you. Rashawn Young. Rashawn knows people, policy, and politics. All of the above. So grateful for my staff. So very quickly, how fitting we opened up this session today, and we talked about Senator Geraldine Thompson. I am continuing some of the good work that she started in the legislature. Since Senator Thompson has been in the legislature, both in the House and the Senate, and then in the House and the Senate, she's filed something that has to do with voting rights and elections. Last year, we filed the Harry T. and Harriet B. Moore Voting Rights Act. And it is what you unfortunately call a messaging bill. Our Republican colleagues will never agenda this bill because it undoes all of the horrific disenfranchisement for voters. This bill will allow for clarity for our returning citizens who thought they could vote and had voter registration cards, but then had a police officer knocking at their door. This bill will allow for Election Day to be a paid holiday. How about that? This bill will allow for same-day registration and being able to vote on the same day. So Senator Thompson and I filed this bill together last year. We made a vow that as long as I'm in the legislature, I would file it. And so in her memory, I am filing it again and will continue to do so while I'm in Tallahassee. Also, my priority piece of legislation that got far last session, and hopefully it will do the same and get over the finish line, is my youth conflict resolution bill. What I have learned is we are living in a time where young folks and juveniles don't know how to de-escalate. They don't know how to resolve conflict. And they get on social media, they have these arguments and they do bickering on social media, and then when they see each other in person, violence ensues. And so this bill will allow, it's a pilot program in the community partnership schools that will teach conflict resolution so that these young people can be ambassadors of conflict resolution in their classroom, in their homes, even in their churches, and in all their public and private settings. So really excited about this. This will be in the community schools. It'll be a pilot program for the first couple of years, but hopefully we can get some data on how conflict resolution has reduced juvenile crime, and then we can make it statewide. So those are my two priority bills. Senator Arrington already talked to you about Bright Futures. I also have a bill that deals with Community Violence Task Force. This will be a task force that deals with community violence, and it will be within the FDLE. I'll just give one more, and it has to do with temporary cash assistance. There's a law on the books right now that folks that have been convicted of a drug trafficking offense cannot get cash assistance. And this hurts our women and our mothers who are trying to rebuild their home after they've come out of incarceration, and they're trying to get their children back from the Department of Children and Families or out of foster care, and they need cash assistance to start their lives and put their lives back together. Well, if you have a drug trafficking offense, you can't get cash assistance, you can't get SNAP benefits, you can't get EBT. That's wrong. I have made a vow every year to file a piece of legislation on behalf of returning citizens, and this is it. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It is wonderful to be here, and I agree, it is a great day to be a Democrat. So, listen, it's also great to be here with all of you, friends, neighbors, folks who get up every day, working hard, running businesses. You're the reason why I'm doing this work. And let's be clear, the work that we're doing today is going to determine the Florida that we leave for our children and our grandchildren. And so for me, I'm working hard